Most people think you need acres of land and expensive equipment to produce your own food. That's wrong. Half an acre, the size of a typical suburban backyard, can produce enough protein to feed a family for an entire year. In this video, I'm breaking down 7 animals that actually thrive on half an acre. And no, I'm not talking about chickens. I'm skipping them on purpose because there are better, tougher options that work in tight spaces. If you're tired of being dependent on grocery stores and want food security that fits real life, not fantasy farms, this is for you. Before we get into the animals, if you're serious about building food independence without the overwhelm, hit that subscribe button right now. I share practical homesteading content every single week that's designed for real backyards, not fantasy farms. You'll never waste time on advice that only works if you own 50 acres. All right, let's talk about animal number 1, quail. This is where everything changes for people with limited space. Most folks struggle with the daily reality of buying questionable eggs from stores while wanting something healthier and more sustainable. But they think they need a big backyard, and they worry about noisy roosters bothering the neighbors. Quail solve all of that. Here's what makes them so effective. 6 to 8 quail produce 5 to 7 fresh eggs every single day in a space smaller than your coat closet. They mature in 6 weeks, start laying at 8 weeks, and keep producing for 2 full years. Unlike chickens that wake up the whole block, quail are quiet enough for balconies and patios. Their eggs contain more protein, more B12, more selenium, and better omega-3s than chicken eggs. This isn't just about eggs, it's about better nutrition. So, what do you actually need to get started? A wire cage about 4 feet long, 2 feet wide, 2 feet tall. Rabbit hutches work great and cost around $50. If you're handy, build one. For $30 using scrap lumber and wire mesh. Add a feeder for $10, a water bottle for $8, and pine shavings for bedding at $12 monthly. If you've got a porch, garage, corner, or spare room, you're basically ready. Total startup cost stays under $100. Your daily work is simple. Feed them game bird starter each morning, collect eggs. That's it. They eat 1 ounce of feed per bird daily, so an $18 50-pound bag feeds 8 quail for almost 2 months. Fresh water daily, and you're done. The whole routine takes 5 minutes. Long-term maintenance comes down to one thing. Clean the bedding weekly and watch for any breathing issues. A 10-minute weekly cleaning prevents nearly all health problems. Quail are naturally tough and disease-resistant when you give them basic care. But here's what really shifts over time, beyond just having eggs. You wake up with purpose, knowing exactly where your protein comes from. Your kids learn real responsibility through manageable daily tasks. Meal planning gets easier when fresh eggs show up every morning. You follow through on your self-sufficiency goals because results happen fast. And here's what nobody talks about. There's this calm that settles in when you realize you're not completely dependent on stores or supply chains that can collapse without warning. One thing that makes this smoother, keep a small notebook by their cage. Track laying patterns, feed use, behavior changes. It's a 30-second habit that helps you catch problems 2 weeks before they get serious. Within 3 months, you'll have a system producing over 100 eggs monthly from a space that fits on a small balcony. That's actual food security in real life. Animal number 2, rabbits. Here's why they transform small properties. Most people hit a wall when thinking about raising meat. The noise, the smell, the massive space needs, the neighbor complaints, all of it feels impossible. Rabbits give you clean, lean protein without any of those headaches. This works even in strict neighborhoods with housing associations. The math is straightforward. 1 buck and 2 does produce over 200 pounds of healthy meat every year in less space than a garden shed. They grow fast, hitting market weight in 8 to 12 weeks. No pasture needed, no expensive buildings. Their meat is low fat, low cholesterol, packing 20 to 25 grams of protein per serving. And critically, they're silent and barely smell when you clean properly. What you need, 3 wire cages, 30 by 36 inches each. 1 for the buck, 2 for the does. Standard cages run $45 to $75 each. Add feeders at $8, water bottles at $6, nest boxes for birthing at $15 each. Stack them vertically to save space. If you've got a garage, porch, or shed, you're set. Total investment under $300 for equipment lasting 5 to 7 years. Daily routine. Feed rabbit. Pellets each morning, breed the does every 3 months. Each doe eats 6 ounces daily. A $20 50-pound bag lasts months. Breeding is simple. Take the doe to the buck's cage, watch for mating, bring her back. 31 days later exactly, she'll have 6 to 10 babies. Wean at 8 weeks, grow to 12 weeks, process for 3 to 5 pounds of meat per rabbit. Long-term success comes down to one focus: clean cages weekly, track breeding on a calendar, note breeding dates, birth dates, processing dates. This prevents overbreeding and keeps meat flowing year-round without overwhelming yourself. What changes over time? You gain real confidence knowing you can produce clean meat no matter what grocery prices do or when supply chains break. Less stress budgeting protein when you're spending $3 to $4 per pound instead of $8. Processing becomes routine instead of scary. And there's deeper peace knowing your family has healthy, chemical-free meat you raised. Yourself. One major advantage: join local rabbit groups or online forums. Experienced breeders share processing videos, breeding tips, problem-solving help. It cuts your learning time from 2 years down to 3 months. Within 6 months, you're generating 15 to 20 pounds of fresh meat monthly from minimal space on a $40 feed budget. Quick pause here. If you're getting value from this, click that like button. It helps YouTube share this with others who need practical homesteading advice, not fantasy content. And I'm curious, which animal feels most doable for your situation? Quail for space efficiency? Rabbits for meat? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one and usually reply with advice specific to your setup. Your comment might help someone else take their first step. Animal number 3, guinea fowl. This is the secret weapon most people completely miss. They handle ticks, snakes, and garden pests while producing eggs, all without the fragility and predator problems chickens have. And here's a big advantage for small properties. Many areas that ban roosters allow guinea fowl because they're not classified as poultry in zoning laws. What makes them powerful is dual functionality. While producing 80 to 100 eggs annually, 6 guinea fowl eliminate ticks, grasshoppers, beetles, even young snakes from your entire half-acre naturally. They're way tougher than chickens, handling heat, cold, and wet weather that stresses regular poultry. Unlike chickens constantly getting killed by hawks and foxes, guinea fowl are alert, aggressive defenders that chase predators away. Their eggs are smaller but richer, with bigger yolks and more protein, perfect for baking and breakfast. Setup needs: a simple coop, 6 by 4 feet with basic roosting bars. Guinea fowl aren't picky. Converted sheds, old dog houses, simple 3-sided shelters all work. Add 4-foot poultry netting around your space to guide them home at night. Basic feeders and water. If you have a backyard or side lot, you're ready. Check local rules first, but most places welcome them. Total setup $150 to $250 using salvaged materials. Daily work. Feed game bird or all-flock pellets each morning. Let them roam your property. 6 birds eat about 1.5 pounds daily total, but they forage so hard that a $22 50-pound bag lasts 5 to 6 weeks. They hunt bugs, patrol fences, alert you to intruders, including snakes they kill and eat. Provide fresh water, call them home at dusk. Long-term maintenance, start them as babies so they learn your property is home. That's key. Guinea fowl raised young return every evening naturally. Clean their coop monthly. Provide roosting bars 3 to 4 feet high. They resist disease naturally and need almost no maintenance. What shifts? Your property gets noticeably cleaner and pest-free without chemicals or constant work. Tick numbers drop dramatically. Within 6 weeks, crucial if you have kids and dogs outside. Morning egg runs give you beautiful speckled eggs that improve your cooking. Less hassle keeping gardens healthy when beetles and grasshoppers disappear. Organic land management becomes easy because guinea fowl do it naturally. And there's this unexpected calm watching them patrol like a little security force, balancing your land naturally. Pro tip: choose pearl or lavender varieties. They're calmer, better layers at 100+ eggs yearly, less likely to wander off. You don't need show birds. These productive types maximize results. Start with 6 birds, the perfect number for half an acre. Within 1 season, pest pressure drops dramatically and you have reliable eggs from birds that actually improve your land. Animal number 4. Ducks. Here's why they beat chickens on small homesteads. They solve 2 problems at once: slugs and snails destroying vegetables, plus wanting egg layers that keep going through bad weather. Ducks handle both naturally while being significantly tougher and more weather-resistant than chickens. What makes them effective is integration. While producing large, rich eggs perfect for baking, each duck egg equals 1.5 chicken eggs. Ducks actively hunt slugs, snails, grubs, garden pests. 3 to 4 ducks keep half-acre gardens naturally pest-free without chemicals or monitoring. They're also remarkably hardy, tolerating cold, wet, muddy conditions that stress other birds. Their eggs are 20% larger with more protein, better omega-3s, superior baking qualities, valuable for family nutrition, and even small egg sales to neighbors at premium prices, $6 to $8 per dozen. Setup: a simple shelter 4 by 6 feet with straw bedding. Ducks don't need fancy housing, just weather protection and predator security. A kid's plastic pool for $30 or large metal tub for $25 gives them water for bathing and drinking. Standard 4-foot poultry. Fence creates safe ranging space. If you have a backyard, side yard, small pond, you're ready. Total, under $200 using basic materials. Daily routine: feed waterfowl or game bird pellets each morning, provide fresh swimming water. 4 ducks eat about 1.5 pounds daily total, but they forage heavily during free-range time, cutting feed costs 30 to 40%. Unlike chickens, ducks are naturally weatherproof, continuing to lay through rain, snow, cold that stops other birds completely. Long-term, refresh swimming water every 2 to 3 days, provide dry bedding in their shelter. That's enough. Ducks resist disease naturally and maintain their own health when given clean water. Weekly shelter cleaning handles everything else. What changes? Gardens become way more productive without constant pest battles or chemical treatments harming good insects. Morning egg collection yields large, beautiful eggs that transform baking. Cookies rise higher, cakes fluffier, custards silkier. Less frustration maintaining organic gardens because ducks patrol naturally. Chemical-free gardening becomes actually achievable. And there's genuine calm watching them waddle around, naturally balancing your ecosystem while producing premium eggs. Pro move: choose Khaki Campbell or Welsh Harlequin breeds. Exceptional layers producing 250 to 300 eggs yearly while being calm, friendly, excellent foragers. You don't need fancy breeds. These productive varieties maximize your half-acre investment. Root pool drainage into raised beds, creating natural irrigation and fertilization. Within months, both garden productivity and egg supply improve dramatically from these hard-working, weather-tough birds. Animal number 5, miniature goats. Here's why they work for small homesteads. Most families wanting fresh dairy face massive space needs and complexity with traditional dairy animals. Miniature goats provide fresh milk daily while naturally clearing, brush, and fertilizing land. One Nigerian dwarf doe produces 1 to 2 quarts daily, enough for most families, including drinking, cooking, yogurt, cheese making, all on a quarter-acre or less. Standard dairy goats need 1 to 2 acres minimum. Their milk has 6 to 10% butterfat versus 3 to 4 in store milk, sweeter and creamier that even lactose-sensitive people often tolerate better. Setup needs: 4-foot field fencing for grazing space, 2 to 300 for a quarter acre. 3-sided shelter, 100 to 200 if building new. Milking supplies: stainless bucket, 25, strip cup 12, udder wash 10, filters 8. Initial investment, around $500 for infrastructure plus $250 to $400 for a quality bred doe. Daily routine: milk twice daily, 10 to 15 minutes each session once established. Less time than a coffee run. Feed quality hay, 8 to 12 per bale lasting 2 to 3 weeks. Fresh water, loose minerals 20 per bag lasting months. Rotate grazing weekly. Long-term hoof trimming every 6 to 8 weeks. Monthly body condition checks. Healthy goats on good pasture need minimal intervention. What changes? Morning and evening milking becomes peaceful routine, connecting you to real food production. Fresh milk transforms your cooking. Homemade mozzarella, yogurt, ice cream. Dairy costs drop from $40 to $60 monthly down to under $15 in feed. Self-sufficient goals feel tangible and rewarding. Pro move. Connect with local dairy goat groups. Experienced keepers share milking techniques, breeding advice, kidding support. Start with one bred doe ready to kid in spring for immediate milk while learning care. Within one season, confident routines producing 1 to 2 gallons fresh dairy weekly from minimal space. Animal number 6. Utility pigeons. The most overlooked opportunity in small space homesteading. They produce quality protein in the smallest footprint with almost zero daily costs. Utility pigeons fed families for centuries, but stay ignored despite being among the most self-sufficient meat sources available. Critically, they're legal virtually everywhere, even strict urban codes banning other livestock. What makes them effective is complete autonomy. Unlike other livestock needing daily care and breeding management, pigeons handle everything independently after setup. One breeding pair produces 12 to 16 squabs annually, each yielding 8 to 12 ounces of dark, flavorful meat similar to premium game birds. They need only 20 to 30 square feet for multiple breeding pairs. Squab meat is lean, high in protein and iron, considered a delicacy selling $20 to $30 per bird, perfect for family meals or profitable small sales to local restaurants. Setup. Simple loft, 6 by 4 feet with nest boxes and perches. Convert shed corners, garage spaces, or build dedicated lofts using basic lumber and wire mesh. Add 6 to 8 nest boxes and perching bars. If you have a small outbuilding, garage corner, even large covered balcony, you're ready. Total, under 150 housing 6 to 8 breeding pairs. Daily routine. Provide grain mix each morning, ensure clean water. Zero complexity. Pigeons eat 2 ounces per bird daily. Standard mix or cracked corn works, 15 per 50-pound bag. They forage extensively if allowed short free fly periods, cutting feed costs 40 to 50%. Breeding happens automatically. Pairs bond for life, incubate eggs, feed squabs until harvest ready at 4 weeks. Long-term, monthly loft cleaning, monitoring pairs for health. They manage everything else themselves. What shifts? Confidence in this productive method working quietly with almost zero daily attention. Fresh squab provides restaurant-quality meat for special meals or premium sales. Less friction than rabbits, chickens, larger livestock. Unexpected calm, knowing you have a self-maintaining protein source working independently. Pro strategy. Start with king or mundane utility breeds, larger birds producing 12 to 16-ounce squabs, more productive, calmer, better parents. Allow short daily free fly periods. They return home instinctively. Within 4 to 6 months, steady production needing less time than checking email. 24 to 32 squabs yearly from just 2 to 3 breeding pairs. Animal number 7. Tilapia. This completes the small homestead protein system, solving the challenge of producing fresh, healthy fish without access to fishing waters, expensive aquaponics, or complex knowledge. Tilapia transforms small backyard ponds or even 100-gallon tanks into productive protein sources working year-round with minimal maintenance. What makes tilapia forgiving is adaptability. They tolerate varied water conditions, pH 6.5 to 8.5, temperatures 75 to 85 degrees, grow rapidly reaching 1 to 1.5 pounds in 6 to 8 months, reproduce naturally without complicated breeding. A single 200-gallon stock tank produces 50 to 75 pounds fish annually, with basic feeding and weekly water checks. Their mild, flaky white meat packs, 26 grams protein per serving, low mercury, rich omega-3s. Unlike wild-caught fish with unknown chemical exposure, you control everything, ensuring clean, healthy protein. Setup. Container holding at least 100 gallons per breeding pair. 200 for small production. Rubber-made stock tanks, 120, repurposed IBC totes, 50 to 100 used. Or small ponds work. Add aquarium air pump, 25, air stone, 8. Simple sponge filter, 30. Or plan weekly water changes using siphon, 15. Stock breeding pairs from hatcheries, 20 to 40 per pair. Initial setup, 2 to 400 depending on container. Daily routine. Feed floating pellets twice daily, check water temperature. Adult tilapia eat 2 to 3% body. Weight daily 25 per 40-pound bag lasting months. Supplement with vegetable scraps, duckweed, composting worms. They consume nearly anything organic, cutting feed costs significantly. Test pH and ammonia weekly using simple strips, 12 for 50 tests, doing water changes if ammonia rises. Long-term, maintain consistent feeding. Watch for overcrowding as fish reproduce every 4 to 6 weeks. Harvest excess, regularly preventing overpopulation, maintaining healthy growth. What changes? Fresh fish becomes weekly reality without fishing trips, licenses, market dependency on questionable imported tilapia. Kids learn complete food cycles watching fish grow from fry to harvest. Garden benefits from nutrient-rich water during changes, natural liquid fertilizer. Less friction meal planning with reliable fish protein. Sustainable systems feel real with visible daily results. Genuine calm, producing premium chemical-free fish in your backyard. Major advantage. Integrate basic. Aquaponics, growing vegetables and fish water. Plants filter naturally, while fish waste fertilizes perfectly. Lettuce, herbs, tomatoes thrive. Simple grow beds above tanks create synergistic production. Choose blue or Nile tilapia for faster growth, better cold tolerance. Add simple heater, 30, if temperatures drop below 70. Within 1 season, establish cycles producing 8 to 12 pounds fresh fish every 4 to 6 weeks. 15 minutes, daily maximum. Here's what most people miss when starting self-sufficient animal systems on half an acre. Matters more than adding another species or buying expensive equipment. Instead of trying multiple animals immediately, remove one major friction point. Choose just one animal matching your actual available time and space right now. That single-focused choice creates momentum and confidence without spreading yourself impossibly thin across 5 different learning curves. Most beginners fail not from lack of knowledge, but from overwhelming themselves with simultaneous projects. They start quail, rabbits, goats all at once, then quit everything when one system fails or life gets busy. Strategy that actually works. Start with one species. Master its complete care cycle 4 to 6 months. Build genuine confidence through consistent daily success. Then add the second species gradually. This respects real-life constraints, your job, family obligations, unexpected emergencies while building sustainable skills that actually stick. The person successfully raising rabbits 6 months, then adding quail, has more practical, transferable knowledge than someone attempting 5 species simultaneously, but struggling with all. They understand feeding schedules, predator protection, health monitoring, processing routines deeply. Pick one. Commit fully 1 season. Then expand from proven success, not theoretical plans. That's how real food independence builds without burnout, financial waste, or giving up entirely. You don't need 40 acres, a barn, farming experience to feed your family with healthy, self-sufficient animals. You need one clear starting point matching your actual life right now. Here's your next move. Pick one animal from today and spend this week researching its specific requirements for your situation. Read breed-specific care guides, join Facebook groups or forums for that animal, watch processing tutorials, visit local breeders if possible. That imperfect first step, just choosing and researching, is where real progress starts. If you want more practical strategies for half-acre homesteading without overwhelm, hype, fantasy farm advice, subscribe right now. This channel is for people wanting to live more self-sufficiently and intentionally without burnout or feeling like failures. I share realistic tested homesteading systems working on real suburban lots every single week. Thanks for investing this time building genuine food independence for your family. I'll see you in the next one.